بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. من يهدي الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. So today inshallah we're going to continue with actually to finish Surat Nuh, and we'll just go through what we've been before inshallah. Just trying to make this, yeah. We last lesson we spoke about the ayat that Prophet Nuh alayhi salam was making dua for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and telling him about his telling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about his people, or the disbelievers from his people, and how in ayah 21 Prophet Nuh alayhi salam, he mentioned that they disobeyed me, إنهم عصوني, and followed واتبعوا من لم يزده ماله وولده إلا خسارة. They followed the one whose wealth and children didn't increase him except the loss, and how they were make a plan or plot a conspiracy against the believers and against Prophet Nuh alayhi salam, which means that they were all the time not only they are disbelieving, but they urge others not to believe. And we mentioned this was the danger. The danger usually of the disbelievers for the prophets is not because they are not believing, but they also urge other people not to believe. And this is what happened with the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. So we mentioned ayah 23 also, وَقَالُوا لَا تَذَرُنَّ, and those disbelievers, they mentioned, don't leave your gods, your deities. وَلَا تَذَرُنَّ وَدًّا وَلَا سُوَاعًا وَلَا يَغُوثَ وَيَعُوقَ وَنَسْرًا. We mentioned that those names were supposed to be, as came in tafsir, they were righteous people, and when they died or passed away, they started the people around to make for them like statues. And by time the shaitan came to the people and whispered to them to worship such statues, and they became idols at the end. So in ayah 24, Allah, the Prophet Nuh mentioned to Allah, وَقَدْ أَضَلُّوا كَثِيرًا, those idols being lead people to astray, since they are generations coming after generations. They found their parents worshipping such idols. And finally, وَلَا تَزِدِ الظَّالِمِينَ إِلَّا ضَلَالًا, here the supplication of Prophet Nuh that he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, do not increase the wrongdoers except their error. And we're going to say, inshallah, after the finishing, why Prophet Nuh started to make dua against his people by like this one, لا تزد الظالمين إلا ضلالا, don't increase the wrongdoer except in error. We're going to say why he's doing that. Now in ayah 25, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will just give us a brief statement about their death or their end. We mentioned that the story of Prophet Nuh came in Quran in different surahs. But in this surah, which is Surat Nuh, is focusing on the da'wah, on the way of invitation that Prophet Nuh alayhi salam used to do with his people. Most of the surah, as you can see, is focusing on the conversation between him and between his people. Here, this is the ayah just coming with a brief summary of what happened as a punishment for such disbelievers. So Allah is saying here, مِمَّا خَطِيئَاتِهِمْ, مِمَّا خَطِيئَاتِهِمْ, مِمَّا because of their sins. مِمَّا خَطِيئَاتِهِمْ أُغْرِقُوا, they were drawn, of course, drawn in the flood that came, that we mentioned in details in other surahs. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered the heaven to send down a lot of rain. Heavy rain came with also the floods happened from the earth opened all the rivers and the seas, it was all open with the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It was a huge flood that make all the disbelievers drown, except the believers were in the safina, or the ship, the saving ship of Nuh, Safinat al-Najah. So here أغرقوا means they were drawn for their numerous sins, rebellion, persistence in disbelief, and opposition to their messengers. فأدخلوا, here we mentioned before the fa. When fa come to you as a letter which attaches two words together, here means that this is يعني give you the rapid, how quick this happened. يعني they were drawn and immediately فأدخلوا نارا. فأدخلوا نارا يعني they were drawn, then were made to enter the fire, which means that they will have the punishment in this life, and quickly the punishment in the hereafter will come to them. Here maybe a question comes to our mind, how they will enter the hellfire and still the day of judgment didn't come yet. So how they will enter the hellfire? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here is giving us that this is very soon. When you go for the day of judgment in the Quran, you will find that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that it is soon will come. Soon will come the day of judgment, and soon people will be punished, and this is will not take much time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying about the disbelievers when they will be asked in the hereafter or in the day of judgment how much you stayed in this life. They will say ما لبثوا إلا ساعة, just 1 hour. They saw that just 1 hour they stayed in this life. So here it's giving you that how things will go quickly from their punishment in this life by drawn in this flooding to the entrance of the hellfire. It will be very quickly. And of course, also there is a hadith where the Prophet ﷺ, he mentioned that the Jannah is very near to you more than the shiraka na'ali. Shiraka na'ali is the thread of your shoes. You know that when you have the shoes or like these training shoes with threads in it, so it is very near to you than the threads of your shoes, and also the hellfire is very near like that. Which means that when the person dies, so immediately all the events will come very quickly, because all the people during their graves, they will not have time. There will be no time. It was like the person who is sleeping and then will be resurrected again. So the time in the graves will pass by all the people who passed away like very short time or very quick time. They will not feel it. That's why فأدخلوا means that after they drawn, they immediately enter the hellfire, and at that hellfire they will not find for them فلم يجدوا لهم, they will not find من دون الله, beside Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, أنصارا, supporters or helpers. We mentioned before that all the time that the believers, when the believers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talking about them, He speak about helpers and supporters. Why? Because they used to have these supporters and these helpers in this life, and in the hereafter they will not find any one of those helpers. Sajna, you have question?
Yes, sister.
Mm.
Said like a Jannah would be very closer than I didn't shoes. Did you say? I didn't get it.
The threads of your shoes. When you have your shoes, you have the threads that you make your shoes fitted to it. So, yani the hadith is giving us an impression that's very near to you, the Jannah, or very near to you, billah, the hellfire, because actually no one knows who the time he will die. So death can come to anyone at any time. So it's very near to all of us. And once we die, where the time to end to have yani, till the day of judgment will be also very short. because will not feel those lots of years. For example, the people since Prophet Adam till the day of judgment, a lot of years, billions and billions of years, those people who passed away, they will not feel this time, that time. Okay?
So you
طيب.
mean like
Mm.
very close and the strength of the like how we fit into our shoes. That is
Yes,
like
like
what you mean.
laces. Yeah, Yasmin, جزاكم الله خيرا, said laces, like the laces, shoes laces. Okay?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
just a metaphor. It's just a metaphor the Prophet mentioned, which give you the sensation that it's very near. Okay?
Mm, mm. And
طيب, okay, now we
فلم
shift to ayah 26. Prophet Nuh mentioned, وقال نوح, Nuh said, ربي, my Lord, لا تذر, لا تذر, تذر means do not leave, على الأرض, on this earth, من الكافرين, from the disbelievers, ديارا. The word ديارا here, as came in the tafsir, means the one who stay in home. يعني don't leave any home for the disbelievers. Okay, so it is a very clear supplication and dua from Prophet Nuh on his people. Why he mentioned that? This is came the answer in ayah 27, the following ayah. What is the following ayah? Why Prophet Nuh mentioned this dua? لا تذر, don't leave on this earth from the disbelievers even a single home. ديارة. Or here, يعني ديارة is a one who is present in his home, which means no one, not leave any one of them. Why Prophet Nuh mentioned this dua in the ayah, next ayah 27? Because he mentioned إنك إن تذرهم, if you leave them, what will happen? يضلوا عبادك, they will mislead your servants. So, as I mentioned, the danger of those people is not only in their disbelieving, they make others to prevent others from believing. And even if they are believers, here ibaduk means the believers, they will mislead the believers. This is the danger of those people. So, Prophet Nuh is saying, if you leave them, they will mislead your servants or your believers. ولا يلدوا, and they will not actually refer to them, well, they will not beget or they will not bring or beget إلا except فاجرا, wicked, كفارة, disbeliever, wicked disbeliever. فاجرا means he is a very bad in behavior and in urging others to do sins. This is fajiran. The fajir is the one who's doing sins and start to invite others to do it. It's not just doing sins and being hided. No, it's not hided. He reveals his sins, announce about his sins, and invite others to do the same. And this is the danger. Fajiran kafara. So here in the tafsir mentioned that Nuh said that dua due to what he knew about them, about his people, since he remained among them 950 years. 950 years, Prophet Nuh used to make his da'wah. And from the scholars mentioned that very few people who believed in him all over these 950 years. And those who were with him in the ship, there were very few. Some people said it's 80, maybe they are 80, 70 or 80. After all these years of da'wah, invitation, his people. That's why giving you the idea that how those people was very bad. And not only in themselves, but also they resist and prevent others from being believers. And then the surah will finish or end by the ayah 28. رَبِّ اغْفِرْ لِي means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive me. Prophet Nuh is saying to Allah, forgive me. And for my parents, وَلِوَالِدَيَّ وَلِمَنْ دَخَلَ بَيْتِيَ, and those who enters my home as a believer. وَلِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتِ, and to the believers from the women and from the men, مؤمنين from the men, believers, and from the woman, وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتِ. So here he supplicated for all of the believing men and women. That includes those of them who were living and those of them who were dead. For this reason, it's recommended to supplicate like this. We have a very common dua in the dua qunut. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات, those who are living and those who passed away. And finish the dua by saying ولا تزد الظالمين إلا تبارا. He said to the wrongdoers, grant you Allah not increase them, not increase the wrongdoer, except tabara. Tabara is destruction or loss. This means loss and destruction. Loss in this life and destruction in the hereafter. And again, we can see the dua of Prophet Nuh on his people came again in ayah 28, last part of it. And as it came in ayah 24, وَلَا تَزِدْ الظَّالِمِينَ إِلَّا ضَلَالًا, do not increase the transgressor except more astray. And here, do not increase the wrongdoers or the transgressor again, except the destruction. So here, destruction or loss, loss and astray. This was the two dua about that of the transgressors by Prophet Nuh. Dalala, loss, astray in the life, and tabara, to be destructed and destroyed in the hereafter. Lastly, we're going to try to correlate the end of the surah by the beginning of the surah. The beginning of the surah is giving us the start of the journey of da'wah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered Prophet Nuh to do for his people. Prophet Nuh in ayah 2, we can feel that how he was immediately replied to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala order and immediately went to his people and start to invite them in different ways most of the time, as we mentioned, laylan wa naharan, day and night, and also the way of da'wah, it is announcement and it's secretly and in people, and kept to do that for 950 years. And after 950 years of resistance, rebellion, and very few believers with him, he made dua against them at the end of the surah. He made dua against those people who tries to resist this da'wah, and at the same time he made the dua for the believers and from his relatives and from those who believed with him. And the ayat, just one ayah told us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved him with a few believers with him, and those who were resisting his da'wah, their fate was being a punishment in this life and punishment in the hereafter. And with the bounty of Allah, alhamdulillah, we finished Surat Nuh, and we'll inshallah next time we'll start سورة الجن. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. سبحانك الله بحمدك لا إله إلا أنت